Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a pleasure having you here. My name is Stephen Cooley and this is Windows to Heaven Art. If you're new here, this is a channel where you get to watch somebody like me, your average Joe, learn how to paint, specifically with oils and acrylic paint, and get better at it. When I started, I was not that good. And I am only now getting to the point where I can paint pretty much exactly what I want. That is big for me because, like I said, when I started out on this journey of painting professionally, I was not painting professionally. I wasn't that good, and I had never made an art sale before. Didn't have a website. It was just kind of a hobby, and I have had no formal training whatsoever, no art school, none of that. I just picked up painting on my own totally. And that's kind of why I started this channel, is to present you other artists out there with real life, genuine art know-how that will take you from down here to up here. So yeah, want to share it with you guys. Like and subscribe, and also be sure to check out my website. There is a link in the description box. Yeah, let's get into it. Where am I painting now? So many of you know who have been following me for a while, I have been painting out in the detached garage for years now, which is non-insulated. That is not ideal for the curing process of your oil paints. And in the wintertime, it would get so cold I'd have to go down to the basement. So it wasn't very ideal to produce art like that. Not very efficient. And also there was the potential in the garage out there for mishaps. I had my paintings literally hanging up on the stud walls. And also, like I said, it's just dangerous to have paintings hanging up in an area where you park the cars, where you do woodworking and other things. Yeah, there's just the potential that there could be damage to your paintings, which actually happened to me one time. I was working out there. I had just finished one of my most favorite wave paintings on a 36 by 24 inch canvas, I think it was. And I literally just had it on the ground and bumped into something which fell over and totally just hit into the middle of the painting. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. So in this space, which is still a garage, but it's attached to the house and it's insulated, and there's nice walls up that I can hang my paintings on where they'll be safe, where they can dry properly. Yeah, it's just a much better setup than before, and I can be out here year-round. So that is nice. I'll give you guys a little bit of a tour here, but I have a freezer over here where I can keep my leftover oil paints for the next session. If you didn't know, you can keep oil paint in the freezer, and that way you don't have to waste anything in between sessions if you didn't use all the paint up, because we all know oil paint is expensive. I have a lot of natural lighting in here. That is key as well, because I think the more natural light you have in your workspace, the more true light you will have to paint by. I've heard other artists, maybe you know of Kevin Hill, I've heard him say that before. I do still have a studio light up above where I paint, but I feel like the natural light in here only helps the light that I paint by. So yeah, that is a huge plus, which I would recommend to any of you artists out there who are looking for a good place to paint. Just be sure that you have lighting that when you paint by it, and then you take it out of that lighting and maybe hang it up on a wall in your house or something like that, it'll still look the same. And I've talked about this before in one of my old studio videos, but I just mentioned that if you're painting in really bright light, it can tend to make you overcompensate for the brightness by painting your painting too dull, and then when you take it out of that bright light and hang it up somewhere, maybe in natural lighting, it'll just look way too dark. and then you're wondering what happened. I thought I liked the painting, now I don't. It's probably because the lighting you painted it in was not good. So yeah, this studio that I'm working in now has a perfect blend for me of natural lighting with the windows and also my usual studio lighting lamp up above. It works well, and I like to maintain that consistency in my studio when I'm working. So yeah, I have different storage areas where I can put my plein air painting setup, also, you know, my brushes and all the different mediums and tools that I work with. It's all here in one place. That is key for me. I don't have to go looking out in the garage in some nether region when I need to find a paint knife or something like that. It's all here. I don't have to worry about that. I have a spot for my plein air paintings along the wall. The walls of the garage here have this little ledge where I put my plein air paintings. This here is a painting that's actually in my gallery online, but I have it sitting there because I haven't hung it up on the wall yet. But behind it, you can see more little plein air paintings hiding. It's a convenient spot to put it all. And yeah, down here I got my pochade box, my old handmade pochade box, as well as different equipment here, and turpentine, etc. And it just makes painting not only go smoothly, but it makes it fun as well. It leaves me room to get excited and inspired when I'm painting. And that is key. If you guys are just trying to produce work and you're not excited about it, that can really be a drag on your creativity and the work that you produce. So you wouldn't necessarily think, but it's true, that your workspace can be very important to whether you feel inspired and creative and energized to paint, or it can tend to drag you down. So yeah, this is my new workspace. I really enjoy it. I really like it. I think it is working smoothly. Wanted to share it with you guys because I feel like there's probably a few of you out there that just have never felt like you had a good spot to actually paint. You don't need the best. Like I said, this is a garage. There's a treadmill literally right over there. You don't need the best of the best. You even don't need to have a spot where you hang up your paintings to dry. Where you work, you can do it in your house. I keep a lot of paintings actually in my house as well. So just find a spot where you can work with good lighting and a spot that inspires you, where you have all your tools on hand and you feel like it's a spot where you can let your creative juices just flow and paint consistently. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for your likes and for your comments. It means a lot, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, God bless y'all. We'll see you later.